This game recap is brought to you by IBC Bank. IBC Bank, we do more. Sidderly Homes, Network Funding, and by Greg Sherman Videography. Call 419-902-3353 for all your video needs in San Antonio and the Hill Country. Greetings and welcome inside the Reagan Rattler locker room, where each week the Rattlers prepare for competition, and this week is a huge matchup as they take on MacArthur, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. You see the district standings on your screen. Madison currently leads the district standings, but Johnson and Roosevelt, who have all clinched playoff spots, could still win the district title depending on what happens the final 2 weeks of the season. As for Reagan, they could actually be mathematically eliminated from playoff contention if they lose to MacArthur and Churchill wins their game this week against Johnson. Easiest scenario to get into the knockout rounds is win their last two and have Churchill lose one. The Rattlers will finish with South San in week number 11. As for MacArthur, it has been a nightmare season for the Brahmas. They have lost 7 games in a row since they won their season opener. They'll miss the playoffs. They also don't have a head coach, as Ben Cook has been suspended pending the results of an investigation to an off-field matter that happened during the district bye. Let's take you out to Hero Stadium and see if the Rattlers can keep their playoff hopes alive. The recap brought to you as always by IBC Bank, Sidderly Homes, and Network Funding. Before the game started, the Rattlers were rooting for their best friends at Johnson High to beat Churchill. Guess what? That's exactly what happened. Churchill bricked a PAT just before halftime, and Johnson scored with 1:40 remaining to beat the Chargers 14-13. That late touchdown meant Reagan regained control of their own destiny for the last playoff spot. It also kept South San alive in the playoff race. Senior night for Ronald Reagan High as they honored all of the hard-working members of the class of 2020, including number 20 Jacob Cho and number 50 Darius Taylor.
Bullard, here. Link Milam, Hong, here. Brody, here.
Both players would be extremely productive, as would junior Stayton Ankrom. In fact, he has had enough spectacular catches this season that you could sell them in a 3-DVD box set, shipping and handling not included. Watch the top of your screen. Ankrom turns his body inside, then spins outside toward the sideline. The Brahma defender completely out of position with zero chance to defend the pass. That set up Reagan inside of the 5. A couple of plays later, and Jacob Cho goes in for the score. Great hole opened up on the line by number 55 Michael Perry, and the Rattlers have the 7-0 lead. Rattler mascot missed the drive, but took a seat to watch what happened later. Ensuing MacArthur drive 4th and 3 at the Rattler 26. Brandon Smith stuffed short of the line to gain, and a turnover on downs to end the quarter. On to the second quarter, the Rattlers down inside of the MacArthur 5. Choke took the handoff, ran over a Mac attempted tackle, and into the northeast scoring zone for his second score of the night, 14-0 Rattlers. Cho finished with only 55 yards rushing, but that's because 8 different rushers had at least 1 carry.
Jacob Cho, workhorse, you know, solid as a rock, has been all last spring, and it's just really good to see him come out and just kind of have that presence that we need to have in the backfield. A very selfless young man. It was really good to see him tonight give us a lot of production out of the backfield.
Take 0 for number 20 and you get number 2, which means more Ankrom highlights. Lance Lorenz play action fake to Carson Green. He found Ankrom 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. No one on Mac found him the next 66 as he picked up a great block from Ronald Link Milam for the score. 21-0 Rattlers. More Ankrom highlights a little bit later. Time now for our IBC Bank Do More Plays of the Game, brought to you by IBC Bank. Ankrom did a lot, but so did the defense. Quarterback Austin Lee threw the ball up for grabs. Pedro Ryan came up with the interception for the Rattlers. Later in the quarter, Mac tried a flea flicker, but by the time Lee got the ball back, number 53 Marlon Anderson was already in the backfield. That disrupted the timing, and Dwayne Murray came up to finish the sack. Including penalty yardage lost, Mac gained less than 100 yards in the first half as the Rattlers led 21-0. There would be one more great defensive play late in the contest, but those defensive plays were IBC Bank Do More Plays of the Game. IBC Bank, we do more.
They only ran a couple of plays. We honestly knew it. We were calling out plays before they even ran them. Like, they lined up and we knew what they were running. It was just watching film. That's all it was. They have nothing to lose. They're just going out there to play. They're giving us their best game. That's what everyone does to Reagan.
D-line did some really good things. Had a little bit of movement up front tonight with those guys, and a collective effort. We had opportunity to get some young kids in, and they did their job tonight.
Third quarter, more Stayton Ankrom fun. Well, not for Mac. Brahmas fooled again by the play-action fake. Lawrence instead laid the pointy object up for number 2. He had a 2-step lead on the defender and hauled in the pass for his second score of the game, 28-0 Reagan, and he finished the night with 132 receiving yards. After that, it was the defense suffocating Mac with tackles for loss, including this one by Michael Gonzalez, until finally the defense put points up on the Hero Stadium scoring board. MacArthur quarterback sacked by A.J. Herrera. He fumbled. Anthony Theliot picked up the late Halloween candy and scooted 70 yards home for the score to complete Reagan's dominant night. Players on the bench excited for Theliot, as was Hamilton. MacArthur didn't even reach 200 yards of total offense until the final play of the game. Rattlers beat Mac for the 9th straight time, 35-6. It's the first time in school history Reagan has won back-to-back games by the exact same score, and the 3rd district opponent they have held to 1 touchdown.
Really good performance from all 3 phases of the game tonight. Moving closer and closer to playing a more of a complete game, first half and second half. Really pleased with the poise that our young kids had tonight.
With our defense, it's we go out there with a mindset like, hey, we got to keep us in the game. We got to do everything we got to do in order to, be in the position that we want to be later on in the playoffs.
Reagan not yet in the playoffs, but they're in very good shape. Reagan plays South San Friday night while Churchill plays Roosevelt on Thursday. A Churchill loss eliminates them altogether from playoff contention. If that happens, Reagan will get the last playoff spot with a win, or they could back in if they lose by 15 points or less. Hello, positive points tiebreaker. If Churchill wins, then Reagan must win or they are out. South San needs a Churchill loss and to beat Reagan by 16 points in order to win a 3-way tiebreaker. As far as the district title race, Madison will play Johnson on Friday. If the Mavericks win, they will repeat as district champions. They could also back in with a loss by less than 16 points and a Roosevelt win. Johnson will claim the district title if they win and Roosevelt loses, or if they win by at least 16 points. By the way, Reagan has never made the playoffs with a non-winning regular season record, but they can make history in Week 11. Reporting from San Antonio, I'm Greg Sherman.